starting making some corned beef at home. Yes, corned beef. That delicious, tasty, scrumptious stuff. I'm going to make that at home and show you how to do it. So that should be enough for you to like this and subscribe down here somewhere, because this is really cool and I'm going to do more things like this. I have, here's what I've got. Mise en place is a wonderful thing. This is what I've got so far. I've got the brisket, a really big brisket. I crossed out where I got it from and how much it cost, but because you don't need to know that. But something this size is usually going to be anywhere from the 20s to the 40s, just depending on what type of deal that they're having. But this would cost more, in my experience, it would cost more if I went through and got some of the bags of the already ready corned beef that you can buy at the market, where you just cook it and it's ready. So yeah, yes, this cost, this was in the upper 30s, lower 40s, but to get the same amount of that prepackaged stuff, it would be quite a bit more. So I've got this, need that. To start with, I'm going to go ahead and brine it. To brine it, we've got a pot with water. That's pretty easy, because we're going to be making the brine. To go into the brine, I've got right here a mixture of salt and brown sugar for the brine. And then I'm cheating. I am using a corned beef mix. I'm using a Penzeys Spice corned beef mix because I really love Penzeys Spice. A friend of mine, Phil, in Arizona, introduced me to Penzeys, and I love it. They should send me stuff. It would be great. So I've got all of this right here, and all of this is going to go into the water. I've got about a cup of salt. I've got about half a cup of brown sugar, and I've got about a fourth of a cup of the corning spices. Yes, I'm aware that I'm putting the corning spices in with the brine that we're doing. The brine's going to be about 10-ish days, a week and a half that I'm going to do it. So instead of just putting in the sugar and the salt now for the brine, I'm actually adding the corning spices just so that will help get into the meat as well, instead of just doing it when we actually do the cooking itself. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put this on to boil. Making a brine, you want to heat it up and stir it so all the stuff that you have in there dissolves. I mean, obviously not this isn't going to dissolve, but the brown sugar and the salt, we want to get that mixed in there. So I will toss this on the stove and I'll be back in just a minute. The other choice is to wait for the water to boil, and that takes forever. Knives. Honing for the knife. This does not sharpen the knife. It just hones it. It doesn't actually sharpen it. It gets rid of nicks in the blades and things like that. You should sharpen your knives often. Are you just going to stand there and videotape this whole thing? Because you're looking at about another 15-20 minutes of standing there.
Do you want to do another take on your opening? It was kind of short this time.
Okay. Sure.
Hi, and welcome to Ginger Chef at Home.
No.
Come on, just try it once. Just like the start of a Food Network show. Like, what do? When the camera comes up, they go...
Okay. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Ginger Chef at Home, the next video that we've got. Today I'm going to be doing some corned beef starting from the very beginning, and we'll go over the first couple steps, which is a simple brine to get that up and going. Then we'll have a little break, about a week and a half, then we'll come back and go ahead and cook it. So because you want to be able to see what happens after today, you should like this and subscribe. That way you can see this and any of the other ones that I bring up fairly easily. So I'm making the corned beef because I really like corned beef. I am a tall, fat man, but I can still, I love corned beef. I get into fights with any of my family whenever they're in my household and there's corned beef, because it's mine and I'm just letting them have some. And they don't always realize that. They try to actually have more than the amount that I'm giving them. Giving them 1 or 2 slices out of a piece this big, that's okay, right? You know, that's for you, that's for me, because it's mine. And it's corned beef and it's delicious. So I'm going to be making a big batch of that. It should be tasty. There'll be a couple things that are a little bit different that I'm making when I'm making this than your typical corned beef. As we go through and get to those points, I'll go ahead and point them out. It boils down to me not having an ingredient and not wanting to wait. All right, let's go ahead and get started.